Hello guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this really cool light flare effect. You can see I have it on this advertisement piece that I made a speed out of. So if you did miss that, go check it out. It went on my channel a few weeks ago, so yeah. I'm going to be showing you guys how to do these flares, and yeah. This is basically what we started with, and I'm going to be showing you how to make it this really cool effect. And you guys can include it on your designs. Obviously it doesn't have to be a razor number, but anything that you would like to add like a light streak to it, kind of like this, and yeah, it looked really cool. And what you will need for this tutorial is this flare. I have linked it in one of my previous tutorials, but it will be in the description of this tutorial as well. So yeah, a link to download this flare will be in the description, and go download that. So what we're going to do is, we've got a flare here, we've got to open, and yeah, we just got to open. We're just going to click here, drag into the other tab, and here we go, we've got it in here. And it should already be on screen, but, so if it's not, make sure it's on screen. You could also use other flares that you find on Google, that would work pretty well. And so yeah, just whenever you do get a flare off Google, just switch it to flare, to screen, and it should remove the background. If you say you've put it to normal, you can see it's got a bit of a background. Change it back to screen, and there we go, it goes. So yeah, I'm going to show you how to do it, and I've got two examples here. I've got an example here just to show you like how to make it change colour as the streak goes on, and I've just got one here just to show you how you can do it with one colour and make it look really cool. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to press Ctrl T, and what this basically allows us to do is resize the flare and rotate it at the same time. And so yeah, we're just going to make it 90 degrees because that is the angle of these lights, and we're just going to make it smaller just by holding shift, just so it doesn't change the aspect ratio. We're going to zoom in a bit, and there we go. It's really hard to see, so we can just press Command J and duplicate it, and you can see that the flare gets a lot more powerful, and it gives, you just see the effect a bit more. So we've got that on that side. We can highlight all of our flares just by clicking on the bottom one, holding shift and clicking on the top one, pressing Command J, and it'll duplicate all of them, and we can just drag it over to the other side, and there we go. It really is that simple. We've got this really cool flare effect on here. And another way you could do it is by having this one flare here, which, like we started off before, we just got this one flare that the download I gave you, and we can go to filter, and then we go to distort, and we go to ripple, and this is what it says on the tin. You're basically adding a ripple. You can try and find it in the preview. There we go, we can see it there, and we can just mess around with the amount of how distorted we want it to be. I wouldn't do it too much, just do it so it's noticeable but not too noticeable, if you see what I mean. Because if it's too distorted, it will look really weird when you look like a flare anymore. So yeah, now we've got this distorted flare. You just put it where you want it to be, just duplicate it again, and now we have this light ripple, and it looks really cool that way as well. If we can just duplicate it over to the side as well. So you can try both ways, whatever way works for you, just go with it. And yeah, it's all about experimenting, and it'll look really nice either way. And if you want to add like a little glow that goes around the outside of the mouse, all you need to do is add a new layer just by clicking on the icon in the corner. So you've got a blank layer, just changing our colour to the same colour as the flare. So we're just gonna go with what looks about right. Okay, that looks about right. Then go to our brush tool, and just by using the default brush, which is right here, this zero hardness brush, I just want to click there and where we want the glow to be, and we can just set it to overlay, and there we go. We have this really cool glow. You can try some of the other ones. Some of the other ones look really cool as well. Sometimes color dodge looks good, so you can see it adds emphasis to the flares. And yeah, you can just mess around with those, see what looks good. And yeah, so now I'm going to show you how to make it change color as it's in one stroke. So we're going to copy our flare again, so just basically restarting, and I'm just going to group all of these flares because this is with the other mouse, and we don't really want to mess with those anymore. So now we've got our mouse here, and we've got our flare here. So what we're going to do is we're going to reposition it like we did before. Oh, okay. Let's zoom out a bit and make it a bit smaller. And what we're basically going to do is we're going to make multiple flares, and each flare is going to be a different color. So we've got a flare here. It's looking pretty good. Obviously this is a blue flare mixed on a red background, so it kind of cancels each other out and makes a white flare. And well, it's still blue, but you can just kind of take it as white. And you're just going to erase the edges just by using the eraser tool, Make sure that the hardness is on 0% or using the eraser tool, and just go over it. And then we're going to do the same things before. We're just going to duplicate it, and you can see it a bit more. But before we duplicate it, we're going to make sure it's red. So we're just going to press Command U, and then it brings out this hue and saturation tab. If you don't have that, well, if that just doesn't work, you're going to make sure that you have your flare layer selected, and go to Image, and then Adjustments, and then Hue and Saturation. Make sure Colorize is ticked. If it does work, if you're it does work with other colors, but sometimes if you want like really pure red, go to Hue, make it red. Make sure it's colorized, and then increase the saturation. You can see we've got really pure red. But sometimes you can work without, and you can see we've got an orange here. So yeah, that will work well enough. And then we're just going to duplicate that flare, so it just gives off more of an effect. There we go, just like that. And now we can duplicate both these flares. Make sure we've got them both selected. Press Command J, and then just drag it down, rotate it using Command T, and there we go. Just bring that over to the orange side, and then we can duplicate it again by pressing Command J again. And then yeah, so that's basically how we can make more than one flare, change color. And if I'll show you, it'll probably be better to show you on this side, just because there is more of a color variety, where on this side they are pretty much all shades of reds, oranges and yellow, which are all pretty similar colors. So to change that, we are going to, to make sure the color changes as it goes down, we're just going to get our flare again. There is an easier way of just copying it over, but I'm going to show you from the start just to make it a lot simpler for you guys. So let's hide all of this side. We're going to copy it over to this side of the mouse. Just rotate it a bit, and then we're going to have to erase the edge again, because we don't want it spilling onto the other colors. So there we go, erase, and then it's just so it fits. And now we're going to make sure that it's purple, so let's actually take it off, just so it's a bit easier to see. And then let's try and find a nice purple. Okay, that's cool. And again, we got our hue and saturation just by pressing Command U, and we'll put it onto where the position's supposed to be, and then press Command J, and there we go, we've got that flare effect there. And then we can just press Command J to make another flare. There's a lot of duplicating, so I'm sorry if you get confused. You might need to pause the video and go through it a bit slower. So we just duplicated it, now we've got this on its side, and we're going to press Command U, and we're going to make this a blue. So let's just try and find a blue, just to match this color. Just try and make it as similar as possible. Okay, that's good. Then we put this in the right position, we rotate it a bit, there we go, and press Command J, and we can do that as many times as we like until we get the nice effect. And now we can duplicate that flare, and then we make it a bit lighter to match this bottom color, just like that. Okay, that looks good. Make sure it's in the right position, and now duplicate that flare until we get the effect that we want. And there we go, we've got this really cool flare effect going along the side. And now when we show all of our layers, we have this this flare effect going on the mouse. So that's what it looks like after this tutorial, and this is what it would look like before. So it's kind of plain and simple. So if you do want that flare effect, that is how you do it. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this tutorial. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.